Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 84. The regular season Astros win 3-2 over the Cleveland Indians. Narrow victory, but the Astros get it done. And given how weak the lineup was going into the game, I'm okay with it being a close victory, mostly one on the pitching staff, right? That's fine. Because going into the game, Altuve gets a day off. Brantley was scratched, I believe, due to shoulder soreness. Hopefully that's nothing big. Obviously, Bregman's out. Tucker still was scratched. Jordan gone, obviously. And our lineup looked like Straw, McCormick, Yuli, Correa, which, I mean, that's not ideal, but that'll do. Then Castro is the DH, Toro at third, Taylor Jones in left field. I'll talk about that in a minute. Stubbs, which I'm all in favor of Stubbs, and Robel Garcia. So it was a little bit of a sketchy lineup going into the game, but the Astros found a way to win, right? It's the first inning, right? Get it started. The Astros would score first. Miles Straw would double, and that was pretty darn nice to see early on. Always great when you get the first base runner on base. Jasper McCormick would fly out. Yuli would single, and then after a 10-pitch battle, Carlos Correa would single, 2-score Straw, making a 1-0 ball game. Castro would strike out, and Toro would ground out, but the Astros get their run, right? And that's what matters. Then after that, the fourth inning happens, and they get Lance McCullers Jr. on the headset in the dugout, which meant we got to watch his pure and joyful reaction to both of the home runs, the first one by Correa, and then by Abraham Toro 2 batters later to make it a 2-0 and 3-0 game respectively. Now, it wasn't all fun. In the fourth, the Indians would get one back. A fielder's choice by Bradley Zimmer would make it a 3-1 game. And then in the seventh, a double by Harold Ramirez would just, I think it touched his glove for Taylor Jones, and he just couldn't quite get it. Now, two things. One, I'm not going to be too upset because Taylor Jones is not an outfielder. He is a first baseman that we put in the outfield. And B, he's like, if I'm not mistaken, he is about 6'8", which he is massive, right? And I think Michael Brantley is like at most like 6 foot even, like 6 foot flat, 6'2". So there's a 6-inch difference between Brantley and Taylor Jones. Again, I could be wrong, but I believe that was the height difference. So if that's Brantley, he's nowhere close to it, right? Because Jones has got a solid few inches on him. But again, it's also not his position. I'm not going to be hard on him. It happens. We'd still win the game. So all is fine in Astro world, right? And that was it for scoring. The Astros get the win. They go from getting swept by the Indians in Minute Maid Park, one of the worst teams in the league, sweeping us. And now we take the first 3 on the road against the Indians, who know they're not a great team, but they're going to contend for a wild card spot. And you take the first 3. This is what I mean when I say this team is not a real team. It's a simulation. Like, this team is something else. So, pitching tonight, Jake Odorizzi, pretty darn good night. 6 innings of work, 2 runs given up, pair of strikeouts is all. But I'm not going to be mad. That's fine out of Jake Odorizzi. I can totally live with 2 runs and 6 innings. That's fine. Ryan Stanley would come in. He'd have a pretty good inning. No hits, no walks, pair of strikeouts. Javier would have a good inning. Same exact stat line. No walks, no runs, no hits, a pair of strikeouts. And so would Ryan Presley. So all 3 of the relievers came in for an inning of work. No hits, no walks, no runs, and 2 strikeouts for each of them. That's pretty darn funny. Offensively, again, they left a little bit to be desired. Risp was pretty rough, 2 for 10. But I can live with it. Miles Straw, I want to briefly mention, he drew 3 walks tonight. And over the last little bit, Straw's been really good. Over the last 30 games, Straw is rocking a 410 on base. Over the last 15, he's rocking a 446. I He's raised his on base now up to 349 on the year. He's getting a lot more patient at the plate, and it's helping a lot because he's starting to be pretty decent. Like, I'm assuming that his OPS plus and weighted runs created plus are still going to be a bit lower because of the home run thing, but I can stomach a guy if he can get that on base for the season around 370, 380. That's great. Because I did not think it was going to be that. Even if it just stays at about 350, that's fine. I can live with that, right? Because then you have the outfield duo of him and McCormick can hit some home runs. And if that's the case, I'm fine, because you can kind of combine those two players and get something pretty darn nice. Correa had a pair of RBIs. He had the home run. That was pretty darn good. He also had a pair of walks. McCormick went 0 for 3, but with a pair of walks. Toro had the home run that made it 3-0 at that point, which was pretty nice. Again, the offense wasn't great. 3 runs. It's not fantastic, but I am not going to complain. The Astros going to win and definitely take the series and then go for a 4-game sweep tomorrow. That'll be at 1:10 Eastern, noon, 10 Central. And we're going to have a Zach Greinke going on the mound. So hopefully we can pick up the 4-game sweep over him. That would be pretty darn nice. And because of the win, we improved to a 3-game lead. 3-game lead? That's 3 to me. 3-game lead. I'm out of my mind. In the AL West, which is great. Anyway, that is all I have to say. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Astros.